Pregame.com.
Welcome back, Pregame.tv. Steve Fezzik here with Brian Leonard, breaking down NBA games. We're going to talk about Toronto Raptors, Cleveland Cavaliers. Love that commercial with, I always have a weird reference. Irving, you've seen that when he pretends to be the old guy, right?
Uncle, what's his name?
I don't know who the uncle is. Cade might chime in here, but I love that commercial. We're just taking him out behind the woodshed, and it's like slowly and gradual. And like in many ways, Cleveland's kind of like that. They're the laughingstock of the NBA. They've been playing much better. Toronto was playing terrible. They're another team that's been on a roll, won 6 out of 7 games. So 2 teams under the radar that we might be looking bet on teams, you think, the second half of the
season? Oh, yeah. I talked about that going into the break. Cleveland's one of the teams, and a few weeks ago we talked about Toronto. Yeah, you take a look at the Raptors, won 6 out of 8 games, and they not only won 6 out of 8 games, they beat Indiana, who's playing as good a ball as anybody right now, Denver, who is as deep and talented as anybody in the league, and the New York Knicks twice, which we talked about in an earlier video. Right. These are 2 teams right now that I'm looking to play on. Now, Kyrie Irving, as we taped this on Tuesday, Kyrie Irving isn't playing. We got the halftime score. They're tied with Chicago. But without knowing if he's going to be in the lineup or not, I don't have a lot to add on this game, but I know this is your pick, so I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, I think, well, just expanding upon what you were saying, not only is Toronto winning, but sometimes you get that fake winning streak where a team is going ahead and they're beating Phoenix, and then they're beating New Orleans when Eric Gordon isn't playing, and big deal. It doesn't matter beating Minnesota, but they've actually, and the fact that they could do back-to-backs and win both games against the Knicks, I thought was super impressive. But what I really like in this string of great games that Toronto's gotten, and Rudy Gay, the acquisition has worked great for them, is the fact that one of the stinkers during the last 10 games is they lost to these Cleveland Cavaliers. They lost by 8 points at home. Don't really know how that happened, and I know that they didn't shoot well in that game. But here's the situation: if you go ahead and look at the spot, and now they're just off a loss against Washington. So very few losses. They just had one against a team they shouldn't have lost to, and they've lost to Cleveland. And here Cleveland's putting up a great fight against Chicago as we speak. We're taping this on Tuesday, and so they're using up a lot of energy in Chicago in front of 23,000. I could easily see Toronto in a great spot here to, and I like the fact that they're on the road, might even be getting a couple points here.
And you talk about the Cleveland-Chicago game. Being from Cleveland, I follow the Cavaliers pretty well. They don't match up well against Chicago. Now, granted, Irving's not there tonight, but when you're playing a team, and they've got blown out all 3 times they played Chicago this year. The last 2 years, I'm not sure they actually won any games against Chicago. When you play a team and you finally get over the hump, especially if you're able to do it. Now, we don't know. It's only halftime. But if you're able to play them competitively, and say they do win this game, they're going into tomorrow's game. They just won without their everything guard right now that everybody's talking about, and they were able to win that game. You got to expect them to have some sort of a letdown tomorrow.
Very good. Let's go ahead and make it official if we can. Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers are playing their hearts out right now at Chicago without their star. I think that's really going to hurt them. I'm on the Toronto Raptors here. Team has been playing very, very well. They've got recent revenge where they lost at home against these Cavaliers, and they just lost to Washington 90-84. Like Brian Leonard, I too have been hot, but I wasn't hot in that game because I had the over, and I was drawing dead 7 minutes into that game. And as soon as I got a text from Teddy Covers, I knew I was dead. Thank you, Teddy. But I digress. Going back, Toronto absolutely is the right side in this game. I'm really not sure what the point spread is going to be because it depends if Irving's going to be able to play or not. But I really hope he does play, and he won't be 100%. Wouldn't surprise me if Toronto, as a dog, comes in and wins this game by a good 8 to 10 points. And more NBA games to talk about. We're going to finish finally with one college basketball game. But next up on the docket, hey, we got a good game. 76ers, no, we don't. 76ers, worst team in the NBA right now at the Bulls. I think Brian Leonard maybe will break down why the Bulls are going to kill them. Maybe, maybe not. Stay tuned here, pregame.tv.